morning, afternoon, evening, beautiful people of the internet. We are back for another video. If you have been here before, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Genevieve. I am 26 years old and I'm a lived experience mental health advocate. I fought a really difficult battle with OCD, anxiety and anorexia nervosa, and now I get to use my story to give you guys hope, and that is the best thing in the world. Today we are going to break down eating disorder myths. There are so many myths out there that are really dangerous, and a lot of these myths stop people from accessing help that they need and deserve. So today we are going to debunk those. Eating disorders are a choice. I can promise you I would never, ever have chosen to go through what I went through. It was awful. It was the most difficult thing I hope I ever have to go through. Eating disorders are not a choice. They are biologically influenced illnesses. Millie, who I run support groups with, says something really beautiful, and she says, genes load the gun, the environment pulls the trigger. Eating disorders are not a choice. Eating disorders aren't that serious. Eating disorders have one of the highest mortality rates of any psychiatric illness. Eating disorders are so serious, and the dangerous thing about them is often you can't tell if someone's struggling. Eating disorders are mental illnesses, but they affect us physically in so many different ways. Anorexia is the only serious eating disorder. Absolutely false. I think it's a really dangerous perception that anorexia is the only serious eating disorder. It's one that's often portrayed in movies, it's the one that gets the most attention, but any kind of eating disorder is serious, and if you're struggling with an eating disorder or disordered eating, even if you haven't been diagnosed, you are worthy and deserving of help. My loved one isn't ready to recover from their eating disorder, so there's absolutely nothing I can do. Again, this is false. Early intervention is key. What I often say to people is you're never going to be fully ready to recover from an eating disorder. It is terrifying, it is scary, it is exhausting. You don't wake up one day and go, oh, today's the day I'm gonna do this. It's all these small little steps that get you closer to a life free from your eating disorder, and having support and encouragement around you is so important. Advice I love that I was told once is one of the best things you can do to someone or for someone with an eating disorder is just to listen. I think there's so many people that try and give advice, and actually listening and being the listening ear and someone that's trusted and someone that can be confided in is one of the most important things in the world. I'm not emaciated, so I'm not sick. Did you know that most people with eating disorders are not underweight? The media portrays this in a really dangerous way, because often we focus on anorexia or eating disorders and represent them as someone that is severely underweight, when actually this is not the reality. If you are struggling with an eating disorder or disordered eating, regardless of whether you've been diagnosed or not, you need to get support. I often get told, or people often say to me, I don't feel like I'm sick enough. If you are struggling with an eating disorder, regardless of what it is, you are sick enough. Boys don't get eating disorders. This is not true at all, and it's a really dangerous myth because it stops many men and boys reaching out for help due to stigma, due to shame, or because it's perceived as a woman's illness. I know guys that have fought eating disorders, have really struggled with eating disorders, and there are many guys out there suffering in silence because they don't think they're worthy of treatment, but they are. So there's a stat that says approximately 25% of people diagnosed with an eating disorder are male. So if you are a guy and you're watching this and you're struggling, you are worthy and deserving of treatment. You're not less valid. Once weight is gained, they are fine. Firstly, like I said before, many people that struggle with eating disorders are not considered underweight and are not required to gain weight. This was something I really struggled with because when I was discharged from hospital, people suddenly assumed that I was fine. Remember that eating disorders are mental illnesses. Often through the refeeding process, the thoughts scream louder because your eating disorder is terrified that you're letting it go, which is what you need to do because recovery and freedom is so incredible. But just because someone's weight is increasing, it does not mean that their mind and their thoughts are decreasing. Working on this is the most important thing because this is where the problem starts. As a parent or a friend, there is not much I can do to help my loved one recover. Not true. You play a very, very crucial role in your loved one's recovery. I often talk about the fact that without my parents and my friends and my family around me, I'm not sure if I'd be where I am today. They held hope for me in the moments that I couldn't hold it for myself. They supported me, they encouraged me, they showed me tough love, and that's what got me to where I am today. You play such a crucial role in your loved one's recovery. Do not judge, do not shame them, please listen to them. You could be their best advocate. Eating disorders only affect white middle-class females. Again, this is not true. Eating disorders do not discriminate. Anyone, anywhere in the world can be affected. You can tell if someone has an eating disorder by looking at them. Not true at all. And this is one of the most difficult things about an eating disorder, is because you cannot tell if someone has one by looking at them. So people can be struggling in silence and not get the love and support they need because nobody knows. If this is you, please know that you do not have to do this alone. You do not have to live like this. There is a beautiful life waiting for you, and help is available. Very few people suffer with binge eating disorder. Actually, binge eating disorder is the most prevalent eating disorder out of them all. Recovery from an eating disorder is not possible. I am proof that this is not true, and I know so many people that are also proof that this is not true. Recovery takes time. I can't tell you how long because it's different for everyone, but let me tell you that recovery is possible, and I hope that you choose recovery. Each time you say no to your eating disorder, you're saying yes to life. Okay, thank you everyone for listening to my myths today. I hope you found that helpful. I think they're really important to debunk, and I often do this because it is so important that people know that they are valid and worthy of treatment, and that the wider community is educated on the seriousness of eating disorders and what they actually are. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for coming and watching this video, and I will see you soon. Bye!